welcome back to the PTOUnlimited podcast. My name is Brett.
I'm Josh.
Alex.
This is episode 73.
Yeah, and don't we have something? Alex?
Do we have something?
For episode 73. What the hell did Brett just send you?
Yeah. Okay. I was just... yeah, we have something for 73, actually.
Fan of the show, Patrick,
Yes.
sent us this so that we didn't have to look it up. So thank you for that.
That's awesome.
So let's see here.
This is a scene out of the Big Bang
Theory. Oh, man. You're gonna make me read this.
Read it. I'll read it.
The best number is 73. Why 73 is the 21st prime number. Its mirror, 37, is the 12th, and its mirror, 21, is the product of multiplying 7 and 3. And in binary, 73 is a palindrome, 1001001, which backwards is 1001001.
Right on. So
wow, that was good.
Math, I guess.
Numbers.
Yay, science.
Yay, science. By the way, that's what it's going to be.
Okay.
Yeah. So yeah, we got 3 minutes till T-shirt Tuesday. So
Yeah.
let's just have a small chat. Brett, do you know what a bidet is?
A bidet?
Oh my god, I forgot.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's a piece of furniture.
For what?
I don't know. I'll know when you tell me.
Do you really not know?
I can't remember.
It technically is.
It is a piece of furniture. It's an accessory.
Sure.
It's
something you sit on.
It's a rinse for your butt.
A who?
A rinse. Yeah.
I thought that was that thing that shoots up water.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. I forgot to mention this last podcast, but
Did you sit on one?
tried one while we
Yeah.
were in Colorado.
How'd you like
Jer
it?
has one.
Why?
That's my question. I
Why?
don't know.
Well, because it saves
I
on
thought it was
toilet
a
paper.
European thing.
It is, but it saves on toilet paper.
Did you ever see the movie Basketball?
Yeah.
Do you remember at the beginning where Matt Stone is drinking from one?
No, the only thing I really remember is the end where Trey Parker is doing the Cartman voice and the dildo part.
Yeah.
Right at the beginning, where they're like raiding his mom's dildo stash or something.
It's the bedroom of the girls. They think it's the girl's bedroom at the house they're at the party, but it's her mom's. It's he finds the dildo and he starts like licking it, and she sees them in there. She's like, "What do you do in my mom's room?" And he's like,
Oh! Oh my god, that's right. Aren't they at like a house party or something? And then they start playing basketball, and that's where it starts.
I don't
Correct.
remember
Such
any
a
of that
funny movie.
It is a funny movie.
Yeah, it's really good. And if you like that movie, Brett, you would definitely like South Park.
Yeah, I know, because the creators and all.
Yeah.
Stone and Paca.
They're only the creators of a 21... Oh, speaking of which, South Park's coming back.
Yes.
The 16th, I think. I think that was the number, or
Sure,
maybe I'm
ever
wrong.
any doubt on
Are you
that?
talking about September?
Yeah.
There's a lot of stuff coming out in September.
Yes.
Seems
there
like
is.
Comedy Central gets a hold of it, or one of their original ideas, and runs with it forever. Hence, Daniel Tosh.
I was like, wait a minute, where are you getting at? Because the only other thing I can think of that's been running on there the longest is Raw.
Raw is not on Comedy Central.
Oh, I'm thinking USA. Sorry.
I was like, what?
Duh. Yeah, they did. I'm sure they wanted to do the Chappelle show for a while, but
Yeah.
Dave Chappelle backed out. So, yeah. T-shirt Tuesday, we got 1 minute left. Oh, my gosh. This couldn't take any longer. Got to refresh it here, and let's... My gosh, this is the dumbest minute of my life. All right. Time for a picker. I'm going to...
Time for a picker?
Time for the picker. And the winner is Quentin Poper. Good on you.
Do you know him?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
I thought that name sounded familiar.
Yes. He's actually one of my coworkers. So,
congratulations.
yes, Quentin, you are the winner of our T-shirt Tuesday giveaway. And,
You know what I think of when I hear the name Quentin?
What?
Go on.
The remake of, or reboot, whatever you want to call it, of Nightmare on Elm Street.
Yeah, we watched that with you.
The kid's name was Quentin.
How do you remember
How
that
do you
shit?
remember that?
It's part of my useless talent. It's his character's name. It's not his real name.
Okay.
But that same guy was in like season 4 of The Walking Dead. He was only in the first episode because I think they were in that grocery store and like a shelf fell on him and then he got eaten.
Wow.
Yeah.
I don't remember that at all. I just remember just bits and pieces of that movie. I don't know why. Were we drinking when we watched that?
Weren't we always?
We always were when we were doing our movie nights. What?
How about you explain real quick about T-Shirt Tuesday?
So
obviously it's going to start right back up.
Yes, it will start right back up on, I believe it's right after Labor Day weekend. Yes, it is. It will start back up on September 6th, or 5th, sorry. September 5th, Tuesday, on our Twitter. Probably be Twitter again. Just pay attention to our social media. What we do for our T-Shirt Tuesday giveaway is we start it on the first Tuesday of every month and run it for the entire month. And all you have to do is there's rules on the actual image of what you need to do, which social media outlet we're on for that giveaway. And so our winner is Quentin, so all you have to do, well, he's going to see me anyways, he'll just tell me.
But anyways, he still has to follow the rules.
He still has to follow. No, he doesn't.
He has to listen.
He has to listen.
I know he listens.
I
You're
know.
not going to walk up and be like, congratulations.
Maybe I should.
Huh?
Maybe I should just
and
walk
then just
up.
not tell him.
Be like, congratulations, huh? Just you'll find out.
You know what the word congratulations just made me think of?
What?
American
Pie 2?
American Wedding.
Oh, that's what American
when,
Wedding.
Stifler goes to the party. He takes the S from congratulations and puts it
in front of
the
Jim.
I and Jim,
No,
or after the I.
After the I,
He
yeah.
goes, congratulations, Jism.
that movie, I think that's the one out of the quadrilogy that I like the least.
I agree, but there's still some hilarious parts in it.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it's still a classic basically.
And I think one big thing is that Chris Klein was not in it.
Yeah,
which just kind of threw it off.
it did. Yeah, Chris Klein wasn't in it, nor was Tara Reid.
And one big thing about it was a lot of the focus was on Stifler.
Yeah,
and he wasn't supporting like he was in the rest of them.
Exactly.
And so that's where I think it took a step back.
I think Reunion, they merged that together pretty well, where everybody was a main character. Like everybody had a story. And it was kind of like their first American Pie all over again, where everyone had a story. Yep. It was good that way, and 2 did the same thing.
I read something on Facebook. There was some story about if they were going to make another one, and I know this is what the internet does, but I just happened to read the comments, and like,
careful with
nothing
that.
but hate. It's like, oh, they don't need. Oh, I would rather do something stupid than watch another American Pie with the original cast.
Why? Why would you even want to watch? Why would you want to watch the spin-offs? I'll tell you
lots
that.
of hate
Yeah.
on that franchise. Maybe it's not as big as I think it is. It's just our
It's our generation. Yeah, it is.
I don't know.
So when the fourth one came out, everyone's like, well, why is this a reunion? Where's the other stuff?
Sure.
So no one was... It was a sequel on its own. It was a movie on its own. You didn't necessarily need to watch the first ones.
The only spinoff I watched was Bandcamp.
Me too.
And I liked it.
We did. We watched The Naked Mile.
Which actually was... I thought that was pretty good, actually.
It was still bad,
It was
though.
bad, but it was... No, I don't want to say it's good. It was okay.
It wasn't the best.
It was watchable.
Partly.
They could have made that movie without the American Pie brand.
They could have.
Mm-hmm.
But because I think the only returning character was Eugene Levy.
No. For Bandcamp, I think it was also the guy who plays Shermanator.
Bandcamp, but Naked Mile.
Naked Mile.
I don't remember.
Eugene Levy, I think, was the only
I
one.
think he's the only one who's been in all of them.
Yeah. It's because what is he doing?
I don't know, nothing, but
He doesn't even belong in a Dumb and Dumber movie, and he was. Dumb and Dumber 2? Or no, Dumb and Dumber sorry.
Yeah.
He's the
never
principal.
Saw Dumber
You never saw Oh, okay.
You never saw
Anywho, let's talk about the weekend.
Well, hold on. The bidet
let's
thing.
Not talk about the weekend.
The bidet.
Yeah.
We didn't
even
have it, can't talk about it.
Hey, what about bidet? Okay, cool
It had
story,
a
bro.
cameo in basketball.
So yeah, it was an interesting experience. I don't think I liked it. I don't know. It was weird.
Well,
I mean, it wasn't an enjoyable experience. It was weird.
So
I still had to use toilet paper.
To get a little bit graphic, it sprays you in the ass.
Yes.
But you got to dry off somehow.
Yeah.
But I think you don't have to use like a big roll of toilet paper.
Does it just power wash your whole ass?
Oh, it's a spray, man.
Okay, so there's
it's not like a jet.
There's a there's a toggle on it, like a little, like you sit down and then there's just, it's like by the seat, like by your hip.
Did we get a photo of it? I don't think we did. I'm going to ask Jared to give us one.
Up his toilet.
Yeah, why not?
So go ahead.
But there's a nozzle and the emojis or
Yeah,
I guess that's what you call
not
it. Or
really
the animation
emojis.
or the picture images on there. There's one on the right and there's one on the left. The one on, I believe it was the right, shows like an, I think it shows an like almost like an ass, kind of like in a heart. And it shows like a big like spray.
Going into
like the ass. And then the other side, I don't remember what it looked like.
I think it's just a lady.
I think it looked like a lady or something.
Because you can spray the front too.
You can tell like, so one side's for like girly parts and the other side's just for your butt. So and it just goes like.
I mean, unless you want to power wash your schlong.
I'm sure it could power wash your balls if you really thought about it. But anyway, so you have to like.
I don't think you'd want that.
He told us about it, how it worked. He's like, if you want to use it, you can use it. So I'm like, okay, well, you know what? Hey, you know what's here? Let's try it. So. But when you do it, it scares the shit out of you, almost literally.
I see what you did there.
No, you have to like twist it a little bit, but if you just crank that knob, it'll pretty much like give you an enema.
Does he use it on the regular?
Probably.
I'm sure he does if he bought it.
Well, Jared's really getting into the like trying to conserve trying to conserve paper and reusable stuff, and he's a bachelor. He's going to spend top dollar on some things here.
I don't know if you spend top dollar on a bidet, but I mean,
he bought one.
So
is it right next to his toilet?
No, it's on it.
It's a connection that goes in like on your.
I think it might actually be the seat.
No, so there's like a connection thing. You hook one thing up to like the water supply to your toilet, and then you like tack on like the.
That's not clean though.
The nozzle. Yes, you do.
What?
Yeah, yes it is. And then you put the adapter thingy, like it's pretty much like underneath the girly seat or the seat, I guess. And it's angled.
Guys can't use the seat.
It's angled like in two different directions, kind of like this. So like girl and ass.
Imagine if you got drunk and you're puking and you accidentally hit it.
Actually, that's not a terrible. Well, okay, hold on. Let me explain myself here.
It doesn't come up through the water or anything.
No. It's under the seat.
I know what it is.
Right
I know what you mean.
It's like a straw. Anyways,
it looks like a straw.
You're vomiting and you want to kind of get that taste out of your mouth.
I suppose
it's water. I mean, you're vomiting. What else is your mouth is filthy?
Nope.
Your mouth is filthy.
Nope.
You don't think so?
Not gonna do it.
I mean, it's probably not the cleanest. It's probably not the cleanest water.
I don't care. Okay, so yeah, we tried a bidet for the first time. It was an experience.
Would you ever try it, Brett? You are not a risk taker.
I don't know.
And I mean, it's not going to.
If it was there,
it's not going to change your life.
You still have to dry your ass off.
Yeah, but you don't use as much toilet paper.
Seems to me like you're using a lot of toilet paper to dry your ass off.
The water is not.
It's not a lot of water.
It doesn't absorb, or it's very. How do I put this? It doesn't stay on you that long.
It dries.
It's already got a place to drip.
Yeah. So you sit there and wait for it to half air dry?
I don't know.
I don't know. I used a little bit more toilet, like not more, but like a little bit to dry off afterwards.
Yeah. Anyways,
all right.
So
I don't know. It's definitely scary though, because you kind of go, "Whoo!"
You did. I did not.
Really?
And I was just
it's cold.
I know what I'm experiencing here. I'm just gonna do a little twist.
It's not like nice bathtub or hot tub water sprayed you. It's cold.
It was brisk. It was room temperature or below. I mean, I don't know. It's coming from the water pipes.
Whatever.
So,
it was an experience.
Yes. I don't. It's not. Didn't change my life.
This weekend.
Yes.
Yeah. Let's move on.
You want to talk about the first thing on our minds?
Yeah.
The fight.
I watched it with a bunch of guys, and
I saw the photo of you. I was like, holy shit,
yeah.
Brett's socializing.
Yeah, there was a bunch of guys I went to high school with. Wasn't really like friends with them, like maybe one guy, but I knew them all.
Okay.
And we had a fantasy football draft, and we just stuck around till the fight came on, which the fight did not come on
until like 11, right?
No, it was like 10 after midnight. So, first of all, we watched it in the UFC app.
Okay.
Well, the undercard started at 9 o'clock. There were 3 fights before the main fight.
Yeah.
So we go in to get in, and it charged one of, the person who bought its card, but we couldn't get in.
Okay.
So it already charged the $100, but it was like, it kept timing out when trying to sign into the app.
Remind me when you're done with this story, Alex and I had something go on Sunday night that's kind of similar.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
So we're like, this is shit.
Yeah.
We already...
Was this on the Xbox?
No,
It was
a Fire Stick.
okay.
Okay.
So we kept trying and trying, and finally it worked about a little bit before 10.
Okay.
It was during the first fight still, so we didn't miss anything.
That's
first
fine.
fight of the.
Were you guys like getting
preliminaries.
pissed off about it?
No, because we were playing cornhole and we're just kind of people only wanted to see the main fight.
Yeah, the
so
main
Right.
fight.
didn't miss a whole lot, but it was just thought. Then I heard that Showtime is getting just plastered because a lot of people could not get in.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm just like, I think I mentioned it, or no, not to you guys, but that's one downside to all these streaming services.
It
when
is.
you get something that's very high in demand
Mhm.
and you can't meet it, but you charge them anyway.
Right. Well, I guess I can just mention it. On Sunday night, Alex and I tried to watch Game of Thrones on the HBO Now app. Wouldn't freaking load.
Yeah.
And in fact, I looked on downdetector.com just to see if there's any reports. There were thousands.
So does it air on the app,
You can, yeah.
or does it wait until it's completed and then it's released?
No, I think it airs on the app.
We could have watched it at 9 o'clock on Sunday,
Okay.
Eastern time anyway.
And you guys have good internet.
Yes, we do. Yeah.
So we can't kind of just came to that conclusion that everybody, because they make you sign up for a UFC
Like an account.
Mm-hmm. So you have to register the account and then
Wait.
you have to stream it.
I just realized you're saying UFC. UFC aired
UFC
this too?
streamed it. Yep.
Oh, I guess I didn't realize he said
Yeah, there's a
that.
boxing match. I mean,
Right.
what would be the boxing app called if they had one? I mean, what is,
I have no idea.
like, I don't know. Like, was there a boxing, like, conglomeration,
There's
like UFC and WWE and all that?
The only thing I know is that there's belts,
Yeah.
but I don't know what any of it means.
Like, you don't know who actually owns
Right.
the boxing corporation.
Right. And I'm guessing it's just because UFC is a thing.
Mhm.
McGregor's an MMA fighter, so it was just easy to connect the two.
Did he retire from MMA?
I don't think so.
No.
I don't think so.
I think from what I've heard is he plans on maybe continuing doing boxing.
Yeah.
That's something I read on social media. Don't necessarily quote me on that because, you can't believe everything you read on the internet.
No.
So I don't remember exactly what I said, but I know I said it on the show. I'm pretty sure, because I was thinking this all the way up this week into this fight,
Mhm.
is that Mayweather's going to win.
It felt like it, and I kind of figured. So, did we had predictions, didn't we?
I know we talked about it.
I don't know
'cause
if
you
we
kept calling
predicted
him
it.
Money Mayweather, and I made fun of you.
Well, it's the only
That's
reason
what
I
his
know
nickname is.
Mayweather because he was on WWE, and that's the only way I know of him.
He's so smug. I hate
So
him.
anyway,
And he punched, I think, Big Show in the face.
He broke his nose.
Yeah.
So,
I remember that.
He broke in my nose.
So I'm thinking this whole time, and I'll get to my logic here, but so, everybody comes over, and this guy I went to high school with. The first thing he asked me is like, who you got tonight? Like, Mayweather.
Mhm.
And he's like, oh, he starts, spouting off all this.
Oh no!
I understand that people hate Floyd Mayweather.
I do.
But
And-
he's a good boxer.
He's the best in the world, yes, and I
He's-
know
You could be a
that,
shitty person, but you could be good at what you do.
Exactly.
and I understand it.
So I'm watching this, and, the whole thing goes down. Of course, Mayweather wins.
Mm-hmm.
And these guys I'm watching it with are pissed.
Hmm.
And, I started thinking about it, and I was even thinking about the next morning, and I'm thinking, Floyd Mayweather is the best defensive boxer maybe ever.
Mm-hmm. He's got good cardio.
In what world would a first-time boxer beat the best there ever is?
It's because people root for the underdog.
They root
They
on
want the
emotion.
underdog.
Yes.
Always, always,
Well,
always.
and if
I do
you-
it myself.
And they weren't necessarily. They were rooting for McGregor because several of them actually like Conor McGregor.
Mm-hmm.
It's not so much they hate Floyd Mayweather, but they like just the kind of guy he is. He's a
They're
he's
just
a
fans.
loud, I say obnoxious, but I don't know if that's the word. He's just he's outlandish. He's just in front of the camera. He was he does UFC shows where he's screaming at people, training them.
You're talking about McGregor, right?
Yeah.
Okay. He also likes to show his Johnson off
He
at
does.
weigh-in. Did you see that? Okay, was that stuffed? Was it real?
I'm pretty
care.
sure it was real.
Anyway, but it just didn't make any sense to me about how this first time boxer could beat a guy that's 49-0.
It's mainly because McGregor has a very good UFC record, but UFC matches don't go on as long.
Not at all, and you have two weapons, your fists. and your ability to, dodge. I am not by any means an expert on boxing,
right?
But just watching, it was a good fight. It was a good fight to watch. I enjoyed the heck out of it.
It was more entertaining than Pacquiao.
Oh,
I'll tell you
I
that.
didn't watch Pacquiao, but everybody in the room that watched it said this fight was so much better than Pacquiao.
There was actual contact in this fight.
Yeah. I did see clips of when the one that's going around that's like everyone's joking about is when I think it was like the first part of it when McGregor went and like bopped Mayweather, or McGregor bopped Mayweather in the face. Like, just, like, barely touched his nose and just boop.
I'm going to boop you.
The one thing I will say that irritated me about Mayweather in general, because I'm not a boxing fan, but when a big-time fight comes on, it's fun to watch.
Right.
But if he had fought Pacquiao 2 years earlier, it's a good chance he may have lost that fight. That's why he pushed it back 2 years and avoided it. And Pacquiao was maybe out of his prime a little bit.
He's got to be smart.
Yes. So, he knows what he's doing. It was me. Just relax.
I was wondering what that sound was.
Overall, it was a good fight. I enjoyed it. It's fun to even watch it in a group full of people. But, and I don't know. He's 50-0 now. It is unlikely that he fights again. And he had not fought in like over 700 days.
I'll tell you something.
What was his payout? Do you know?
Oh, it was big.
I heard
I knew that
so
they were
many
both,
couple hundred million.
I heard the only reason they were doing that, or like he would even agree to it, was like this insane amount.
Some people
of money.
said it was fixed. Like this fight was fixed.
Be. It would not surprise me at all if it was just a complete cash grab.
Right.
Because he made I heard so many different figures, but roughly 200 million, and McGregor got roughly 100 million.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, if that's the case, okay. Because he loves money, and
well, I'll tell you the truth. Watching this actually almost made me watch a boxing movie because it was like
funny you say that.
You can tell how much goes into a person when they box, so you don't know what kind of physical training they had to do to get to that point.
Well, and you're watching the fight, and McGregor did win the first 3 rounds.
He was doing great.
Yeah, and he got gassed, and the first thing he did, he put his gloves down.
Well,
but you watch Mayweather, he's got his gloves up the whole time. That's why he's known as a defensive boxer, because he doesn't let you hit him, and when he sees an opening, he takes it.
Oh, man.
That's what he did.
Yeah.
There was one meme that kind of, I guess, summons up most of it that I saw, where it said it had like the 2 pictures or whatever split, and it said what I do when I'm a new player at a wrestling game, and it's just like button mashing, and it shows McGregor just going and Mayweather just doing this.
Yeah.
I was like, that's kind of how it was.
I haven't played a wrestling game in a while. I should probably try out.
Break out the 64.
I don't know. Do you have? You have it, don't you? You have WrestleMania 2000? No, I do.
You have.
I gotta find it.
No, I have no mercy.
Okay.
I did see that last part too, where he got like not knocked out, but
the ref stopped it.
The ref stopped it.
Do you think he should have?
Well,
did you see the slow-mo breakdown of it? He like was.
He might have been a little lost.
It's the ref's job to protect the boxers.
If he would have gotten hit one more time in the face really hard by Mayweather, he probably would have like
dropped.
Yeah.
Often
his head was like, woo.
The fighters are not going to stop.
How's that go again, Alex?
So the fighters rely on the ref to make the decision for them, because even McGregor said, he's like, I didn't want to stop.
Well, you're not going to. There's so many people watching and adrenaline. Like, you're going to keep going.
Beaten to a pulp. So, that's what the ref is there for. So, when he...
his arms couldn't even, do this anymore. He was just...
Yeah.
He would have gotten one more hit on him.
Brett wants to talk, Alex.
I'm sorry. I watched that last part of it over and over. I'm like, oh, damn, he got clobbered.
That's really all I had to say.
You had something. It was coming.
Well, I was just that...
You guys been talking. I wanted to put my 2 cents in.
No, it's fine. I've been talking a lot. That's just what they do. They are,
strategists,
instructed to basically save their life to an extent.
Yeah, right.
But it's funny that you mentioned about boxing movies, because the Rocky bundle on iTunes was $15.
Did you buy it?
I bought it.
That's what, 6
like
movies?
6
if you
movies.
count Creed.
Creed is not in it, but the rest of them are. And even Creed was $5. So I bought the 6 movies. So it's like, a little over $2 a movie.
Yeah, right on. You gonna watch them? Have you seen all of them?
I've only seen 3, 4, and 5, and I really like 3, 4, and 5. I have not seen 1 or 2.
I hear 2 is one of the best.
I heard 1 was
really
one of the best.
Well, let's move on to another bit of the weekend. Alex and I, we watched just to get this out of the way, so it's just one little piece. We watched SummerSlam a couple days late.
A couple days late. We watched it like a few days late.
We're only going to mention the main event match, the Fatal 4-Way, which was Roman Reigns versus Braun Strowman versus Brock Lesnar. Who was the other one? Roman Reigns, Braun Strowman, Brock Lesnar. Oh my gosh. Oh my goodness.
Samoa Joe.
Oh, Samoa Joe. Goodness, how did I forget about that?
I was trying to think of who got thrown through tables.
Brock Lesnar got thrown through tables.
Brock Lesnar did.
Holy
he's still
crap.
there.
What?
Can't believe he's still there.
It was quite an epic match. I'll tell you that. You would enjoy this.
This was a holy shit match.
This was Brock did the X. As in he's injured.
He's like, I'm out. I'm done.
Yeah. It was quite a match to enjoy.
I really like Braun Strowman.
I do too.
He's really grown on me.
Yes.
I like him a lot. And
he should have yelled, I'm not finished with you yet.
I know. I was waiting for him to run down on the when Brock was getting taken away. I'm like, I'm not finished with you yet.
Yeah. But I'm saying this was a physical match. And
it was like,
you could feel how much they put into it.
They said there was over 1,000 pounds in the ring or something. If you put, because they're all at least 2 or 3 or 800 or something like that.
Yeah, well, let's see here. Brock Lesnar's probably 250, 260. Braun Strowman's probably about 3. Roman Reigns is probably about 2 something, and then Samoa Joe, he's probably about 3.
He's probably 3.
Yeah, so you're looking at about 900 pounds.
There's I was like, oh man, a bunch of big guys. It's gonna be a really slow match. They were tossed. Even the announcer said, this is pretty much a bunch of heavyweights, and they're flying around like cruiserweights.
It was nuts.
They were flying through tables, just pick. Braun Strowman was picking up Brock Lesnar like he weighed a feather.
Yeah.
Who won?
Brock Lesnar.
Brock Lesnar won.
He came back in.
Is he a champ then?
He still is.
He's still champ.
Which is fine. This one felt earned.
Yeah, it did. It really did, actually. I was like, well, I really don't care.
Who did he pin?
I think Samoa Joe, didn't he?
I think so. Either that or Roman.
I don't know. I don't remember the last part. I just remember the part where they're going through the tables.
That was right at the beginning.
But there's 3 tables, and there was one left. You heard the crowd go, "One more table," or
one more table.
Yeah, because it was table. Then Braun Strowman picked him up again. Threw him through
another one.
Just as if he weighed nothing.
Yep. And
he's a large man.
And they're not. And I think WWE's trying to go away from the PG era to go into a PG-13 ish. If someone bleeds, it happens, but there's no cutting. It's not like they're trying to prevent it. And there was some blood in this one. Braun Strowman cut the side of his head or something.
Yeah. He was bleeding.
It was a really good match, and I would watch it again.
I was doing something on the couch, and I was like, oh, we'll just watch it, blah blah blah. And I was I actually put stuff down, and I was like, holy shit! They have a new
a new chant.
They have a new chant.
The crowd does.
So it's just
So when the announcer says this match has been set for one fall, then the crowd goes one fall.
It's just Josh and I noticed that we're just and this time has been for one fall.
I don't get it.
Fall. It's just they're repeating what he
said.
They're
repeating stuff. It's Stone Cold's what? Yeah.
Yeah. So and the thing is that the announcers know that now, so they just pause and wait.
They put the mic down.
But I thought that was pretty. Josh and I looked, was like, when did that become a thing?
I mean, we've seen every pay per view
over the last couple weeks. It's become a thing.
Yeah. So it was a good pay per view, and No Mercy is in September, and I'm looking forward to it. So. Should be good.
We haven't watched a full pay-per-view in a month, it seems.
Yeah. We missed the other one, too, because we were somewhere else. I don't remember what we were doing.
Remember.
So, let's move on from there.
So, I started a new project on Friday.
What's that?
I decided to get my out-of-shape self back to the gym.
You don't want to call yourself
fat? I'm not going to go.
Okay.
I'm just going to be nice to myself.
Oh, that's fine.
I'm not going to go into great detail because I know gym stories aren't all that interesting.
Well, unless you've been to a gym.
Yes. So I've been focusing mainly on cardio to get my weight back under control a little bit.
That's good.
And I went Friday, Saturday, Sunday, which probably was a mistake. In
I think you want to do 2, right? 2 days on.
When you start off, it's usually good to go every other day. Give yourself a break.
Well, I didn't, and here's what happened.
He didn't.
I start with like a warm up, just walking on quickly on the treadmill. Then I go to elliptical, and then I go on what's called an arc trainer, which is basically like it's kind of like a Stairmaster without the resistance.
Arc trainers are better, the best.
Yes.
They do the
they
best.
like work your
They're
up and down.
best, especially for calorie burning.
Your core, Alex, is that
I
what
said everything up and down. Like
Okay.
it works everything.
Yeah.
So, I was worried that I've been, I get out of breath bending down to tie my shoe, So I've been really worried about dying or just barely working out at all and huffing and puffing and falling off the piece of, the machine.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I've been doing well, so I've decided to push myself a little bit and just see if I could do it.
There's nothing wrong with doing a push.
Right.
But you got to be ready for it.
So on Monday then, I'm just walking and I hurt my knee just starts hurting out of nowhere. And it got so bad that I was hobbling around, barely able to stand up, sit down. Anytime I would bend it, it hurt so bad. It was awful. And I'm like, well, that's what you get for pushing yourself too fast.
Well, but your knees, though, I mean, you're on your feet all the time. They should be used to...
Well, if you did the treadmill, that's flat. And then if you did the elliptical...
just the extra work. It's not just walking, from your car to into work. It's going fast and just the extra stuff you're putting it through.
Well, speaking of working out, well, there's one thing I noticed on our last YouTube video. I looked at me and Alex. I was like, holy cow, we lost some weight. And definitely by going to Colorado and doing all the hiking that we've done.
Well, our diet was water.
It was.
Our diet was water. Like we would, if we didn't have breakfast, I just drank a crap ton of water. Like it's just, and it wasn't like because I made myself. It's you're out there and the oxygen and everything. Like you're burning shit.
You are.
And you're constantly thirsty.
Yeah, you are.
So it's just like flushing you out pretty much.
Right.
I'm not gonna lie. Ever since we got back, I feel like crap.
Oh, because we're eating like crap?
Well, I mean, there's that, but it's just like that we were out there and getting sleep, and now we're back to working and everything else. Is like I feel like poop. Like
being an adult.
I don't want to adult again, but no, like my body at least. Like my sleep schedule is off. My eating, the drinking water. Like here, it's just so humid and stuff, and I just don't see myself reaching for a bottle of water. You and I went through like a 24 pack in 3 days in Colorado.
Gosh, that was nuts. Yeah, we did.
Without thinking about it, just I'm thirsty. And down a bottle of water.
Right. So yeah, I mean, when are you going back?
My knee feels much better today. It hurt like hell this morning, but I tried to keep it loose at work just by moving it around, and I should be able to go back Friday. But I think I will stick to at least for a week or two going every other day, so you gotta account, especially at I'm not saying that I'm old, but 32 is not 22.
No, it's not.
And
it's not.
You just can't recover from stuff in a day like you can in your early 20s.
I was thinking about that the other day. I was like, man, Alex and I, we used to be such social butterflies. Right after the draft yesterday, which we'll get into, I think Shane was saying they were going to go out karaokeing. Were they still doing that?
Oh,
last night?
I don't
last
know.
night?
No, because Ashley had to work early.
Okay. I thought they were going to, and I was like, man, Alex and I probably would have actually said no because I have to work in the morning, and when I was younger, I was like, oh, hell yeah, we'll party all the time.
Yeah.
But
no, it didn't
now I'm
matter
just
if
like,
we had to work at 7, 8 o'clock in the morning when we were like 20 years old. It was, okay, sure. We could get 3 hours of sleep. That's all right. Like, that was like a minimum. I was like, as long as I get a few hours, I'm fine.
There are days when I can do that, but it's not as often as it used to be.
Very rarely is that happening.
So, in the same spirit of that, I think I ended up Saturday night going to bed at like 1:30 because of the fight, and Sunday I felt like crap all day long.
Oh yeah,
because I still got up at 8:39 and just it was a wreck.
That's only like maybe 6.5 hours of sleep.
My body will naturally wake up after 7 hours of sleep. Yeah. Like 6.5, 7, and I'll feel fine.
That's okay.
If I sleep in 8 or even push it to 9, I feel like poop. Like I slept too much.
Right.
Yeah, that's my adult self.
I'll sleep.
No more
whatever.
sleeping until noon, like you're 16,
did you
17.
Did you have any stories about the gym, Brett?
No.
What was it like going back after not being there for a while?
It was fun. The hardest part is going the first time.
It is.
And even I tried going in, I think, late 2014, and I thought if I just go the first time, I'll be fine. And I never did. And so I never got, made it, into my routine or whatever. But so, and I wanted to go, and it took me a week from signing up to walking in the door.
I actually think the second time is one of the hardest because you're already
I think it's just the
so
first
sore.
week in general. And once you get over that 7-day hump, it's like you just already get it in your routine and your body wants to go.
And honestly, even after the second time and after the third time until my knee, I felt good. Just
well, mentally it makes you feel good too. You're just like, I'm there, I'm working out, and doing something good for my body. I need to take care of it.
Right.
I got through it without, falling over.
Have you changed your diet at all?
I have.
Yeah, I can tell
it's
by
still not necessarily good, and there have been exceptions there, but I've meal prepped my lunch and dinners.
That's good.
And it's been mostly protein, but
that's fine. I mean,
it's not crap.
It's not
and you won't eat too many vegetables.
I really don't.
Man.
How I really started adding that kind of stuff is when I was doing shakes when we were really into working out. Adding stuff like I would never, or I used to never, I would have never have eaten kale straight. And then I started hearing that it was like this great energy boost green, and I started just putting it in shakes, and you can't even taste it.
Sure.
And then eventually I started adding it in with my salad, like not as the primary green, but mixed. I'm like, okay, it's not so bad. And now I can just eat it plain.
I've never really been, when working out, shakes and stuff like that. I cut out carbs.
That's a good thing.
That's a good thing.
And mostly protein.
You don't want to cut out all carbs though, because you need carbs for energy.
A good thing to cut out is, as we said this last week, sugar.
Sugar, yes.
Yes, sugar's the big thing.
I haven't eliminated the soda, but I've cut down on it.
And the best thing that Alex and I used to do in high school was we would do Lent. Just for not necessarily religious reasons, but just to give something up on your daily use. And Alex gave up chocolate. I gave up soda.
Ugh. How'd you do?
I did just fine. I was drinking water and stuff and Gatorade.
I'm a very committed person.
Yeah.
When it comes to those things. So I'm like, I don't back down from doing it. It's tough, but I get through it.
I'll tell you what, after you give it up for over a month, you don't want to go back.
When we gave up fast food that one year, like we gave up all fast food, everything, anything greasy, nasty.
And that was my argument. Is Subway fast food? Is Jimmy John's fast food?
Whatever. But we gave up all of that, and the moment that we were able to go back to it, I don't think we even we didn't go back and have like our first like burger from McDonald's or something like that for like a month. And when we did, like we both looked at each other like, we're never eating fast food again. We just feel like shit.
Yeah.
Well, I wish that
you don't realize how much that really messes with your body and how unhealthy it is until you're eating clean for a long time, and then you put it in your mouth and you digest it, and your body gives you the middle finger.
Well, here's the thing: not all fast food is bad.
No, but eating French fries and burgers all the time is not healthy.
No. I mean, not for daily anyway.
No.
But let's move on from there.
Let's move on.
Well, just as a final note, once I get my limbs cooperating, I will go back and we'll probably alternate, like you said.
Is it kind of like rebirth, where you're just like, man, I got to get this thing working now. I got to learn how to use this.
It is, annoying to have this recovery time, because back in 2013, I went 6 days a week.
Yeah, I went with you.
No problems at all.
All the time. We were going to the gym all the time.
So,
and it was great.
And I can't remember how long it actually took me to drop the weight, but I did it relatively quick.
Men usually
and now I have to add this recovery time into it. It's just, at least I'm upright.
So you're saying it's easier for men to lose weight than women?
Yes, it is. I think it's the testosterone.
That's just like your opinion, man.
No, I don't think that's my opinion. I believe it's easier for men to lose weight faster than women.
It's because women...
We're supposed to have excess fat.
You are. Because you're supposed to bear the children.
Well, I don't know. That's the way women are supposed to be. That's why you guys... I don't know. I'm not going to get into it.
Let's talk about
I wanted to ask real quick. Did you at least weigh yourself before you started working out? So you can keep a...
Well, I fluctuate.
Well, you're going to Planet Fitness, right?
I'm not saying go on the scale. Always use the same scale, but go on the scale, weigh yourself, and then don't weigh yourself for 2 or 3 weeks at a time.
Then
So
you'll
that way
see the progress.
You can see the progress.
Sure.
If you go in there every single time, like, man, I just gained 5 more pounds. Well, you're fluctuating.
Brett, I'm not going to ask your weight, but what is your goal weight?
Or do you have a goal?
Well, let's just say if I could get back down to what I was in 2013, which is where I was after I had been going to the gym for weeks, I would need to lose 40 pounds.
Okay,
I can see that happening.
Half an Olsen twin. Okay, you can do it. Well, that was a joke I was running in Chicago.
At the same time, being now that I'm almost 6 years older than that, I don't know if I'll be able to, just because your body changes.
You'd be surprised.
I don't think you might be surprised. You might not lose it as quick,
True.
but I think that's definitely. I mean, 40 pounds. Like, it seems like these days, 40 pounds is nothing. Like,
Right.
So
watch you drop 40 pounds in the next 4 months.
I hope so.
Alex,
Yeah.
fantasy football.
You want to talk fantasy?
Yeah.
Yeah, he does.
Let's talk fantasy.
Well, so last night we did an offline draft, which was there first.
Yes.
What was your first impressions?
After I did the mock draft, I knew what to expect. Like, I just knew what a snake draft was, and I was like,
I
okay.
don't understand the snake part of it.
It goes.
How you had the
okay.
first and then
Yep.
you didn't pick again.
Well, I guess I didn't apply snake to that.
Yeah,
so
that's literally
all
a
right,
snake.
I get it then.
Yeah.
What else was your first impression?
A lot easier than I thought
I
it
would
was
have
going to be.
actually probably enjoyed it more at someone's house.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it was. I mean, we did it at Buffalo Wild Wings.
Yeah. I mean, not necessarily
it wasn't,
noise.
It wasn't
but
packed, but it was more like we were on a really long table, so it was kind of like,
we couldn't really talk to each other. And
yeah, so it would be nice to. But Buffalo Wild Wings supplies us with
The draft kit.
with the draft kit, which is
that's
nice. And you could probably buy a draft kit.
We could have bought that and took it to somebody's house.
Yeah.
The one thing I will say about it, I mean, it's always fun.
Yeah.
But my other 2 drafts are online, and we got done with those in less than an hour. So that's one.
Yeah, this one took like what,
one
3 hours?
downside to an offline draft is that they take a while.
Some people took longer than most doing their picks.
True.
I mean, Alex and I, we kind of already had our picks immediately knowing what we wanted next.
We are new, and we don't necessarily know a whole lot, so we're not contemplating, do I do this person or this person? I only knew, like, as soon as I got my team filled, I kind of didn't really care who I was picking.
Okay, yeah, that's the same thing.
And
Like,
I
you just wanna
actually
make sure you
did
have
do
good
my
stuff.
homework, and I did make a strategy guide, and I did make a mock draft, and I brought it with me, and I did my homework, and I had my sheet, and Shane's like, oh, what's this? I'm like, look, these are my picks.
Yeah, that's your
I was the
top
only
4
one
of
that did
every
that.
field. But the thing is, a lot of yours got taken.
No, but I at least got a few.
Yeah.
I got and that was the other funny thing is that I got number 1.
Yeah. She got the first draft pick, and I think you have the best wide receiver.
No,
or
that's running back.
I have the
David
best
Johnson.
running back.
Best running back.
Yeah.
Mine are a lot of mine are ranked in the top 10. So I've got a few that are up there.
I think I have best running back and best quarterback.
Tom Brady?
Yeah.
Probably.
Yeah, I have both.
Did you check to see who you play?
Nope.
Yeah, my first one is against Rob.
I think I'm against Joe.
Yep.
I guess I don't know. I had not really opened it yet.
I can look for you, Alex.
We
You know,
don't have
it's
to
real
do
simple.
that
It's
right now, but
but
anyway, I thought it was a lot easier than I thought it was going to be, especially once I did the mock drafts on ESPN or whatever. I understood it.
Yeah.
It's more just I don't watch a lot of football, and I kind of learned what a flex was yesterday, and I kind of learned what a tight end was yesterday, and I still can't really tell you the two, but I kind of get it, and once I start watching the game again, then I guess I'll
Alex,
figure it out.
you're going up against Wayne.
Wayne?
Yep.
Uh-oh, he had a good team.
But according to your projected, you got, and Brett, you always say don't pay attention to the projected, but according to this, you are pretty neck and neck.
That's what I said. I was like, he seemed to know what he was doing.
Right now, my projected is a lot higher than Rob's, so I might win. I don't know. It's hard to say. You just got to find out on game
So I guess
day.
the other thing is that I guess we'll just have to figure out when we're doing the app. Do we get to pick that week who, out of the 16 players that we pick, do we have to trade people? Not trade people, but I have my team, but what if I don't want this person to play? It probably just depends on what teams are playing, right?
Well, you have to do it before kickoff of your game.
Well, obviously.
But yes, you want to see who you have and who they're playing, and then move them. If you want to switch somebody out for somebody on your bench.
That part is going to be a little... I'm going to have to do it a couple times to really figure it out, but yeah.
So...
I'm kind of excited.
I'm glad you guys are doing it. It'll be fun. It'll
kind of
be
excited.
fun.
We'll see how this works.
Show segment too.
Yeah, it looks like it might be interesting. My fucking app's not working.
That's okay.
Not going to use it anymore anyway. Right now anyway. But where do we want to move on to?
What do you think about your fantasy draft?
I'm okay with.
Because you got like what?
You were picking
10?
some people that weren't even like on the damn sheet, like on the front.
The tight end was one. Yes.
Yeah, I was like, does Brett even know?
I'm taking a shot with one of my tight ends. I think he's gonna break out this year, but we'll see.
Yeah. How many people do we got? 12 in this? No, 10.
10. Yeah.
10. Okay. So interesting.
Okay.
So let's go to our discussion topic.
Which? Oh yeah. So we brought up Brett brought this up, and we've been holding on to this topic for a while. It's the advice you would give your younger self.
And I know this is very cliche, but I think it's legit because the reason I thought about this is because it is the end of August. A lot of kids are going back to college, and some for the first time. So it just made me think, when I was 18, I thought I've had it figured out for the most part. And what would I tell my 18-year-old self?
Well, Brett, you and I both moved out of our parents' place at a very young age.
No, I didn't. You did. I did not as much.
How old were you?
I was 22.
Oh, I thought you were 20. No? Okay. Never mind then. I was the youngest one. Yeah. I was 18 on my own.
Well, you were 18, almost 19.
I moved here in
Yeah, but you didn't just move out of your parents' house. You moved across the country.
I did.
Which is significant.
It is. So what we're going to give, the advice we're going to give our 18-year-old self. Who wants to go first?
You can go first.
Me? Okay.
Yeah. So you have to think about, what were you doing at the age of 18? And, I mean, our listeners aren't going to know. So
no. I mean, I can tell them.
Where were you living? What job did you have?
I was living in an apartment on my own in a halfway basement apartment. It was here in Fort Wayne, and I was working at Walmart, and I wasn't saving a dime. I'll tell you that. The one thing I would probably tell myself, my 18-year-old self, is go to college earlier. I waited too long. I think I could have had a career build, or maybe I would have told myself to do a podcast earlier. I mean, podcasts were just becoming a thing.
But then we might not have come up with this one.
That's true.
You know that? Yeah, I know that.
But yeah, that's the advice you give your
some of the advice. I mean, I'd have to think on some other ones, but that's one thing I would tell myself is do things earlier and know what you're going to do. Because I went to school for video game design and. Hated that halfway through my courses. I was like, I want to switch, and I couldn't. So it didn't pan out for me very well. Mm-hmm. But that's what I tell myself is figure something out to do, for college.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think the biggest thing is do not, and I know this is very specific. Every young kid, or even in the 20s, once, especially if you get a full-time job, you're making more money than you ever have, even if it's not that much, budget and don't spend more than you earn.
Yeah.
Because that leads to credit cards, and interest is a bitch.
It's still a bitch. Just dealing with that myself too.
Yeah. Well, I think, most Americans have X amount of credit card debt.
Yeah.
It's a bad thing. It's good because if you need something now, that's a tool that's available. But if you're buying just fun stuff, putting on your credit card, that will come back to haunt you.
It will. Yes, it will. Definitely. So I agree.
Yeah.
That's a big one.
I guess, at 18, I feel like I made a lot of really good choices.
Yeah, you did
I started,
a lot right.
One thing, I'm going to kind of have the opposite effect of you guys in a sense. Because I know you wanted to start college sooner. When did you start, Brett?
Right out of high school.
Right out of high school. When did you start? Fall?
Yeah.
Okay. So the one thing that I probably would have changed, but at the same time, knowing the class that started in the fall versus I started in the summer, the people that I would have been with in my class would have been horrible. But I had 3.5 weeks of summer vacation from graduating high school until starting college.
Yeah.
Wow.
I had no summer. so that was my last few weeks to be able to enjoy not kind of being in school for a while.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, I'm really glad that you're still in that working school kind of mind, and I went right in all kind of prepared and fresh. But, I mean, you pretty much, once you're in college, that starts adulting.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, I feel like I have not had a break, like a long, nice, needed break, like months for a while. And at the time, at the time I was 18, I was working at a restaurant. I was a busser and a hostess, and I wasn't making a lot of money, but I was at least saving. I was really good. I've always been a saver, so I was at least saving money. Mm-hmm. But I guess my advice would be enjoy my 3 weeks. Not necessarily like I spent 3 weeks just being more excited the fact I was starting college, and instead of enjoying the fact that for the rest of your life you're never going to have a break.
Right.
Pretty much. You're
Right.
going to be in school, and then you're going to be making money, and then you're going to be doing your career, which is, 40, 50 hours a week. You're not going to get a break. You have to work for your break.
Yeah.
So that would be one thing, is like I always go back and go, oh man, people had June, July, August, some of September, and like they spent their whole summer celebrating the fact that they're out of high school. And for me it was like, you're done with high school. Next day it felt like I was in college.
Pretty
and
much.
then I went to school pretty much year round. Brett, you and I went to the same college, but I don't know if our programs were different, but I had 2 breaks, 2 1-week breaks. I had a week between Christmas and New Year's, and I had a week in summertime, just for summer.
I remember I think the classes were like 8-week semesters.
Yes, 8 weeks.
There was one of those 8 weeks because it was not traditional school. It was an accelerated program.
Yes.
So we went year round.
We went year round.
So was I.
I don't regret that, but at
No,
the
me
same
neither,
time,
because
everyone else got breaks.
I got a bachelor's in like 28 months.
Mm-hmm.
So, but one of the 8-week periods was an externship. So we worked.
Oh, I didn't realize you had an extern on yours too.
Yeah. So we worked. We did not have to go to school for those 8 weeks.
No, I didn't go to school either. I pretty much I had to do like complete 270 hours in 8 weeks. I think that's what it was.
Yeah.
But you pretty much worked, like that came out to be like 35 hours a week. So you were pretty much just working with or without getting paid.
I think if I remember right, at some point there was like a 3-week break that we got.
Unless that was just for your program.
It could have been.
But yeah, the program I was in, I didn't.
Yours was like, it was part of the college, but it was like a whole separate department or whatever. But anyway.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that's one piece of advice. The other thing that I've always wanted to tell myself is enjoy being young.
Yeah.
Well, and something else that kind of goes along with that is when you're young and you're making the friendships that you're making, the odds that you're going to be friends with the people you're friends with for the rest of your life, it just doesn't happen.
Right. And not a lot of them hold.
Honestly,
a lot of ours have
stuck. To tell you the truth, a lot of the people that we have met in our college years are the friends that we've been with the longest.
Yes.
And I've heard a lot of people saying that the opposite, saying, well, the people I met in college are just my drunk buddies that I don't connect with anymore. I'm like, those are the people, like, that's you. That's you. That's Rick. That's...
But you don't see most of those people on a regular basis.
Not on a daily basis. I mean, if we really wanted to and make an effort, we could. But we can all still get together at any time and still act as if, like, no time's gone by.
Exactly.
But our bestest friends are the ones that we kind of made right around the end of high school and beginning of college.
Yep. I definitely agree with that.
I feel like that's when we were kind of in our prime too.
I think for me anyway, it goes from good friends that you see and you hang out with a lot to you don't see them and you may not be the best of friends, but you're good enough friends to where just contact every now and then is good enough.
Yeah.
It's like,
I mean, don't get me wrong, we've met a lot of people in the college years.
Yes, we did.
A lot. People that if I were to see a picture now, I could probably not tell you what their name was, but I would be able to say, that he was at a party or a couple, like, I mean, it's really hard to kind of give myself advice, but the other thing would be like we did, I think, parties
Yeah.
We did. I don't want to take that back just because I think that actually had us learn a lot of lessons. Is also like how we met a lot of people. But I also like with, I don't want to take it back, but like I would say don't go hard. Like don't go hard on partying. Don't go as hard as I was. Like I think I fell more into peer pressure there were certain nights that are burned into my memory 10 years ago that I should have been studying for a final, like a big test towards even the end of my schooling. And instead it was, 20 of us wanted to go to this big house party and they were like, Alex and Josh have got to come because they're
the partiers.
They're the partiers, blah, blah. I'm like, and there was a couple parties I brought my books to. So I could like pretty much cram study. Yes, there was a couple parties we went to, a house party where I had my binders with me. I would do a crash study and go, all right, boom, I'm done. Bring on the party kind of thing. And then I would regret it because 2 days later I'd still be feeling some effects and I'd go to school and be like, I don't remember any of that. Like, don't be stupid. It's
stupid.
It's really like I guess what I would tell myself. But that's how you learn. You're young, you're stupid. That's how you learn. So, you learn from your mistakes.
Well, and what I won't call it irritating, but one thing is that I got to think, nobody really told me these things.
No.
Because I had an older sibling, but she was several years older than me. Mm-hmm. So, and I got to think, even if somebody had told me these things, I probably being an arrogant 18-year-old would be like, nah, that's not right.
That was me. Mm-hmm. I wouldn't listen to anybody.
Yeah.
Nobody.
I'm the oldest, but I probably still wouldn't have listened to anybody.
You did. You listened to your mom a lot. And your parents,
I listened to my parents, but
I mean, like,
there's still things you figure out. A lot of like you just naturally as a growing adult you figure out on your own, and there's certain things you have to figure out on your own.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Corny as it sounds, life is a lot about learning lessons.
It is. Yeah.
It's a lot about making mistakes and learning from them. That's
some people don't.
Some people don't.
Yeah.
I mean, the other thing the other big piece of advice I'm sure that the both of you would agree on, that I feel like they even need to implement into schooling if they don't already, is learning about student loans and your debt and signing your life away. I just assume sitting in that chair, signing my name on a piece of paper that, well, everybody else does this, so it's got to be okay to do. You sign your name on the dotted line, you're going to be in 10, 20, 30 years of debt.
I'm sure that at least is talked about in econ.
Honestly, I remembered they taught us how to do our taxes, like state, federal stuff, just how to go over it real quick, and that's about it. I don't ever remember it.
Like, even with the credit card thing, I'm sure that's touched on in econ.
But I was taught in 6th grade how to balance a checkbook.
It doesn't. It's it's not gonna a peruse like that is not gonna stick in an 18-year-old's head when he's ready to graduate and go to college.
I feel like they need to have a full class on, I don't know what you can call, I know it's econ, but
debt management.
Yes, there you go. Because I think that was topped as the number one reason for debt right now is student loans.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Absolutely.
They have screwed over our generation.
They have.
But
Sally Mae.
That kind of
Thanks, Sally
thing,
Mae.
I don't think a lot of 18-year-olds are going to take advantage of. They just think, I don't care about this.
It's just money. Yeah.
Exactly.
Well, and that's the thing. You're kind of taught, and I told Josh this because we saw a segment on YouTube, and
it's Adam Ruins Everything.
Yeah, and I like watching that kind of stuff.
Yes, he's awesome.
But you're taught and crammed, especially like our generation was, go to college or else you'll be a nobody. Okay, so go to college. Well, guess what? If you didn't apply for certain grants and what do you call it? Not just if you didn't get grants, there was other scholarships.
Scholarships, yeah.
If you don't sign up for scholarships, all this other stuff. Yeah, the state's going to give you so much money if you live in the state, blah, blah, blah. But what they don't show you is you're like, okay, so here's your degree costs $45,000, $50,000. We'll just sign you up for all these loans that you don't have to pay right now. You can just start paying them off. We'll give you a year break is what they tell you. We'll give you a year, and then you start paying on them.
I got 6 months before I started.
I think that's what it was.
I thought that was the greatest thing.
Yeah, I was like, oh yeah.
You're talking about your federal loans?
Well, federal and just your student loans in general. Like all this debt that you get pushed into, and nobody really prepares you for what the fuck kind of debt you're going to be into. There's people, like a lot of people that I know, that are living with their parents now because they are stuck in so much debt from college, they can't afford to be out on their own.
Right. And honestly, I mean,
But they did what they were told to do. Go to college and get a job.
College is not for everyone.
No.
It's really not. And you can get a high-paying job if you're willing to learn a trade.
I know a lot of people that didn't go to college that are making more money than me. I'm just like, you motherfucker.
But, I mean, there's also certain jobs that you need to get certified. You need to get licensed to in order to perform those kind of jobs.
Certification and licenses, that doesn't necessarily have to be a bachelor's degree that costs you $80,000.
Right.
No, not necessarily.
And like I said, you go and learn a trade. Now, there's a lot of work to a trade.
Yeah.
But it can pay really good money.
Mm-hmm.
Guys, do you want to move on, or do you want to keep going with this?
I don't know. It's just we got into it, and I know that the people probably listening, going, hallelujah, yeah, that's they said it.
Speak the truth.
Truth.
Debt sucks, and it takes a lot to get out of it. I'll tell you that.
It does. It doesn't really hit. It hits you like a ton of bricks when you finally get that bill, and you're like, I mean, I'll just go ahead and say it. Josh's first bill that came from Fed loans was over $800 a month is what they expected from us, and I'm like,
no middle class
that is more.
Person can
like
pay
there's.
That.
I mean, and Josh is on the phone.
They know that too.
I know that the people on the phone, it's not their fault, but that's the people that you're talking to you when you're making when you call to actually set up and say, what the hell? I can't pay $800 a month. What can I pay? Well, what can you pay? We're like, okay, let's minimally I can pay like $300 of that a month. Well, then your interest is so high, you're never going to get, we're going to be in debt the rest of our lives. Unless we start making a shit ton of money, we will always be in debt.
Yeah.
Like that, and I hate that because I'm a saver and I like to save money and I like to clear my name of debt. We're never ever going to be out of debt. That's just the way it works.
I think that's the middle class's problem. I mean,
it
our
is.
generation's middle class, we may not outlive our student loan debt.
Nope. So
no, that's what sucks. So I mean, like, what do you teach? I mean, when we have children and they grow up, like, what? It's hard to say, like, what you teach. What do you teach them? I mean, it's all going to have to be about the times that they're living in then. But I mean, both my parents went to college, but both of them did not complete college, and I don't know. I never actually talked to them about student loans. I believe they all did it smart and paid like for their classes at the time. Yeah. And my brother and sister were really good. I mean, they both had at least attended college, but they did the same thing. I don't know if they learned from me and my mistake at all, but I don't want to call it a mistake, but
no, it's not.
But they went in and they paid for what they could at the time,
which is good. That's what you need to do.
So, anyways, I guess we can get off the subject.
I need to tell a quick story, and then we'll get into the kind of the downer of the episode. But
what's the downer?
Houston.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
So I've kind of been taking a lot of shots at Disney and their business model.
Yeah.
Well, I was ready to fire another one, but it worked out. So The Lion King came out yesterday. Mm-hmm. So I went and bought the Blu-ray.
Oh.
But I noticed on it says Blu-ray, DVD, and digital.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I got concerned because I was thinking it says digital.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't say digital HD.
Oh,
now,
no.
If you go look at any Blu-ray from any other studio, most likely it says digital HD.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because when you go to redeem your digital copy, especially with iTunes, which is what I use, there's the HD version and then there's the standard definition version. Mm-hmm. Now, I know on animated, it's not really going to be a whole big difference.
No.
But I thought this would be like them to nickel and dime the shit out of you to where you buy the Blu-ray, you get your high-def movie, but the digital that we put with it, that's only going to be good for the standard. So if you want the high-def digital, you got to buy that separate.
So
I'm like...
Outcome?
I was like, I want this movie. I want the physical copy anyway. I'm going to buy it. But if this is the friggin' standard definition attached to this, when every other studio is putting the HD for their digital version, I'm just going to be pissed. So I got home. I redeemed it. I opened up my iPad. I click on it. And bam, it said HD. I'm like, whew.
Oh, man. Can't imagine Lion King without HD.
Look.
Like as if we were raised in the VHS era.
I'm an OCD digital copy collector.
I understand this.
And it's legit beef when you're paying, it was $25.
Well, here's the deal, Brett. I'm just going to give a rebuttal, not necessarily my opinion. You watched The Lion King as a child on a tube TV.
Doesn't matter.
On a VHS
This isn't
tape.
1994.
I understand this. And did it come out in 94?
I'm pretty sure.
I think it came out in 95.
I could tell you in a minute.
I think it was 94.
Look it up.
I'll look it up. You guys talk.
So you're used to it already. What would be the difference? I mean, I understand
it's
you're in the digital era where
it's
things need to be crisp and clean.
It's the business model and how they treat the people buying their movies.
Disney isn't necessarily throwing anybody under the bus. Who's to say that they're going to offer it in HD? I mean, if they
94.
didn't. Fuck me. You're right.
You're darn right, I'm right.
Well, here's the thing.
Go on.
What month?
Does that matter?
Yes.
It doesn't say right now.
I thought
but
it was like April.
Ooh, I just clicked on something.
That would
Keep
be.
going.
Yeah. So what I'm saying is you shouldn't even expect it. What?
June.
Okay, so that's halfway through the year. Didn't come out on VHS until probably the end of the year.
Probably around Christmas time.
Yeah, I was like, probably Christmas time.
Yeah.
That's not how it is now.
Say your piece.
Well, my piece is you shouldn't make a big deal out of a movie you've already seen in standard def to not be in standard def. If you're not experiencing the high def,
It's
why does it
not
matter?
about. I've seen the movie. It's not about what I experience it in. It's a fact that I'm paying a premium price for a product.
How much did you pay?
I said it.
$25.
I didn't hear that part.
$25.
Sorry, Brett. Jesus.
I see your point, but I see his as well. If I'm paying $25, I better be getting some HD.
Okay.
That sounds funny. I better be getting some HD. Sounds like a product.
I mean, I guess I compare it to all the rest of the studios, and here you got Disney, and they almost said, "Well, yeah, you're paying this premium price for this 20-year-old Blu-ray, but we're not going to give you everything we could."
Yeah.
You know, if you want the digital of this version as well, you have to shell out $20 for that.
Well, you do know that they had to remaster it to do that, so it's like
Yeah,
it's like they went out of their way to put it in HD. So you think they're going to offer it in not HD?
I guess it depends on how they want to reward their loyal
Have you had
customers.
this happen to you by anybody else?
Yeah, but it was back in the time where digital HD wasn't full on yet.
Okay.
Like several Blu-rays I've bought that had the digital copy, it was only the standard def.
Okay.
So it was probably like in the late 2000 teens,
Mm-hmm.
you know, in like 07, 08, 09.
Yeah.
I've bought in a few movies that have had the digital copy. It came on a disc. It wasn't a redeemed code.
Yeah, you were telling me about
It
that.
came on the
Yep.
disc, and it was just a standard definition. So I couldn't get too upset with that because it was just a product of the times.
So I want to talk about Blu-ray and HD real quick here.
Okay.
Alex basically missed the era of HD DVD versus Blu-ray. Like, she didn't get to experience it like we did.
Yep.
It's kind of weird because you didn't have that type of player.
I missed it.
Yeah, you never experienced it.
I didn't.
Your first Blu-ray movie is when HD DVD already was out.
I'm trying to understand what you're saying here. How did I miss it? I know that they were around.
I'm trying to reminisce with Brett about this.
How did I miss it?
You didn't work in electronics and you didn't have a Blu-ray player or HD DVD player at home.
See, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Go on.
Go on.
Do you remember there ever being that conversation you have to be with your customers about the difference between the two?
I really don't.
Do you remember doing the CBLs about it?
No.
No? Holy shit, man. Well,
So
of course, your memory goes into the actors.
Okay, so what's the difference?
Never mind.
What's the
this
difference
entire
between-
conversation is going to be
What's the difference between HD and Blu-ray?
the HD DVD and Blu-ray?
Yeah.
HD DVD didn't hold as much data as Blu-ray could. And it was backed by Toshiba and not Sony.
Yeah.
That's the only difference?
Not necessarily. There was one other thing that
Okay.
made it happen. That was the porn industry.
Yeah.
Porn industry backed up the Blu-ray. And when something the same thing
So if I
happened
were
to
to put-
VHS and Betamax.
Okay, so if I were to put an HD DVD in on one screen and then HD DVD
And Blu-ray.
and Blu-ray, they would look the same?
No, I think Blu-ray was cleaner.
I'm not sure what the resolutions were on a HD DVD.
I guess I'm not into that kind of thing.
You're not.
I didn't even care that we upgraded like from a tube TV.
But you did once you saw the
know
electricity
what?
bill.
I did when I saw the bill.
Some
Yeah.
people just don't care about HD. I do.
I don't. I mean, now that I'm older and I could see where my money can go, and I know when someone's trying to hassle me. If I were to go into a store and say, "Hey, you're gonna get this," oh, she has no idea what we're talking about. Let's try to upsell her this fancy
Well, here's
thing.
the thing. When we were trying to watch Game of Thrones, when we were in Colorado, JR was like, "This better be in HD." I was like, "What the hell?" I mean, it's not like I've experienced movies and TV shows not HD. Why would it matter?
It is nicer.
It is.
I can watch a standard DVD,
mm-hmm.
but I'd really rather watch it in Blu-ray, which is why I got rid of most of my non-Blu-rays.
Honestly, for the longest time, switching from like tube TV, I guess is what I'll call it, to HD is the movement. I don't know.
Swimmy?
It was swimmy.
Yeah.
Like it felt, if it was really weird, almost kind of like.
Well, I can tell you
like,
why.
Almost like motion sickness going from tube TV.
Refresh rate.
Yeah. So that was definitely a change. I noticed that, and I liked the clarity of it, but it was, whoa, this is like you could see everyone's movements.
Alex, are you talking about the experience you had at Game Pazzo?
No.
Because those TVs had a low refresh rate.
Well, I know that, but just in general, watching movies and stuff on TV now versus back then when it was transitioning over, everything was digital, was like you could see everyone's exact movement and what they were wearing and the pores on their faces versus like, staticky kind of, I don't know. It was just it was a weird it was a weird transition.
So before we get into talking about Houston, let's do a little bit of playing and watching.
Okay. Sounds good.
Alex and I, we want to...
There's a couple things that we need to announce first.
Yes. So for playing and watching, there is some stuff that we watched over the weekend. The big thing that really got us excited, and Alex and I, we watched this trailer immediately, and that was for Super Troopers 2. Mm-hmm. And this is so long ago. This is 2001.
Yeah, this is like over 15 years in the making.
16 years ago.
Yeah.
It's going to be coming out in 2018, so that's
and they have like, it looks like the whole cast.
They do. They would definitely. It's Broken Lizard. If you don't know what that is, they're like a group of people. Okay. They've made movies together.
But it already looks like in the trailer that they're Easter egging a lot of old jokes or references from the first movie.
Sounds to me like it's going to be a lot like
Dumb and Dumber 2.
But you know what? But it was still the
first movie was just like Dumb and Dumber 2 in a sense where it was very random and it had the toilet humor that was necessary for the time. So this might be just as trendy. I don't know. It's hard to say.
I know that we're going to put it up on a pedestal.
We will.
Back in high school, like this was the movie. Like this was. I mean, I know that it came out before we were in high school, but it was still like that.
It's kind of like Van Wilder was like the college movie.
Like it was just the college humor, the toilet humor, like Josh said. Like it was just a funny movie to watch, kind of like Superbad, and like that's up there. That's like Superbad, Super Troopers. Like it's.
Yeah. I believe Superbad is 10 years old.
No,
oh my god, that's right. It is.
Wow.
Alex. So the description of Super Troopers 2 is when border dispute arises between the U.S. and Canada, the Super Troopers are tasked with establishing a highway patrol station in the disputed area.
Okay, so
that's why they were Mounties in that.
Okay,
I get trailer.
I get it.
All right, and they reprised Jim Gaffigan.
Yes, they did.
Oh man, I'm so excited.
Yeah, it looks like there's probably going to be, because I remember when they announced that they wanted to make a Super Troopers 2.
Oh, that was a couple years ago.
Yeah, that was years ago. I remember them coming out with but we have to raise money to like make it or whatever, and they set up a
GoFundMe.
Like a GoFundMe for it, just to see if people really wanted them to have another movie, and they made a lot of money.
Yeah.
And I don't know if that's the fund that they're using, or I'm sure that they are, but like they were able to make enough money and say, well, fine, we'll make the movie. And they got everybody together. So it's more of a nostalgia, I think, is what's going to happen. I'm hoping that the comedy's just as funny too. But
I'm sure it is. The trailer showed it is looking pretty good.
I know, but I'm hoping that the trailer is not going to take away from the movie.
Right. I don't think we should watch any more trailers on it.
No, I think this is going to be one.
I'm going to have you two converted for good here before long.
Why? I mean, seeing an announcement trailer is one thing, but watching simultaneous ones.
Yeah, like, I'm leaning towards you.
I've gone towards just watching the first trailer, or maybe the second one, because the second one's extended, depending on how excited I am about the movie.
How many trailers for like it have there been?
So many, and I've only
seen two.
The first one and the extended one.
Feels like every other time I get on Facebook, there's
another
a friggin' trailer.
Yeah,
we're going to see the whole freaking movie before it's out.
Probably not.
I'm not going to see the movie.
No.
Anyway.
You mentioned though. Before we got on the podcast.
I want to watch the original.
Okay. I wanted to talk about that a little bit. There is a significance with the movie It.
Yeah, I read about that today.
Something about number 27 or number 20.
27.
Is it 27?
Yep.
What?
It's 27 years apart from this one and the original.
Yep.
One of the original kid actors was 27 when he died.
Yep.
And there was one other 27 fact I can't remember.
Whenever there's
clown,
something bad happens.
The monster only comes back every 27 years.
Yes.
That's what it is.
Ooh.
So it's kind of like Jeepers Creepers, where the monster only comes
back. Isn't there a Jeepers Creepers coming out?
Yeah, there's a third one.
Yeah, I can't wait to see that one.
I think it might be a prequel. I don't remember.
I
think you might be right on that.
And the first one was good. Second one was.
It was horrible.
Fine.
It was. They're
fine.
They're both
fine.
They're both.
They're both campy. That's the point.
They're both bad, but it was also.
They're kind of doing the Nightmare on Elm Street or Freddy or Five Nights.
Yeah.
I watched the movie.
Go on.
I watched a movie.
Yeah.
A Few Good Men.
Okay.
Oh, that's a good movie.
It's a great courtroom movie.
Mm-hmm. I haven't seen it in a really long time, but it was a good movie.
I've never seen it.
Oh, that's one you have to watch.
Hey, hold on a second here.
No, I know.
You have no ground.
You would really like that movie.
I'm sure I would.
We've seen something he hasn't.
Is that Jack Nicholson?
Yep.
Oh,
yeah.
Look at me knowing things.
Tom Cruise, Demi Moore, Kevin Pollak.
For some reason, I get Tom Cruise also mixed up with his position in the movie The Firm, which I've never seen, but I know it's also a courtroom
I'm probably
one.
I might be messing this up. Is that the?
That's the Handle the Truth.
Yes, that's the famous line movie.
Yes, and Jack Nicholson says it.
I want the truth.
You can't handle the truth.
If you want another one, I think The General's Daughter was pretty good.
I've seen that one too, but
that one messed me up as a kid.
It's been a long time.
I don't know.
The thing is, I was a kid that I watched it.
Another military courtroom, Rules of Engagement with Sam Jackson and Tommy Lee Jones. That one's really good too.
Okay. Never seen it.
Anyway, that's all. I have not played anything.
You didn't play anything? We played some Rocket League with Shane, and Alex was getting mad. She couldn't play.
I was sucking so bad. So bad.
I'm glad you said bad. I'm glad you said bad.
No, it was horrible. My perception was just off. I don't know if I was just tired because it was late.
Well, I woke you up.
Well, that's true. I was taking a nap. I was like almost about to throw my controller. I was actually like want to rage quit for once.
Here's the thing that's going to make you even more angry. We were playing against the computers.
Maybe that's what it was.
It was just me, you, and Shane versus the computers. That's all we were doing.
I don't know. It was difficult. I was horrible. We're gonna have to do a rematch.
There's nothing out there right now that I want to play.
Yeah, we got Destiny 2 coming out next week.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. I think it's next week. Is it next week? The 6th?
I think so.
I think it's next week.
Tuesday, yeah.
Yep. So that's something we're definitely going to be playing when we come back.
Another thing that was announced is season 2 of This Is Us.
You knew they were going to do it.
Is coming out on September 26th.
You knew they were going to do it.
Well, yeah, they
have to.
They came out like the day after it ended and said there's going to be a season 2.
Well, you just said it was announced.
Well, I mean, meaning like the date was announced.
The date was probably announced months ago.
The date along with, it almost looked like the first part of episode 1 of season 2 was the trailer.
Mm-hmm.
Like it looked so good. I really enjoyed that show a lot.
Who was it that was asking about that show? There's another podcast.
The Uninformed Critics. They used my that was a while
back. Your suggestion.
I suggested, they had said what their podcast does is they watch TV shows and movies and things like that that they haven't seen, and they start it up in like the middle, and then they criticize it.
Yep.
Or critique it or whatever. But yeah, and I suggested doing This Is Us, and they watched a random episode and they really enjoyed it. So I'm like, it's that good of a show that they wanted to end up actually watching it.
Yeah. Do you have anything else?
So we really need
before
to
I think that was it.
Oh, well, we got to talk about Game of Thrones.
Yeah, we'll talk about that real quick.
Brett, you're going to shut your mind off for a second here.
Yeah, Brett's going to tune out for a minute.
So why
don't you go ahead and announce that we're going to do this with spoilers?
First of all, it's going to be a spoiler chat right here.
We kind of have to spoil.
So if you're listening via live stream, mute your thing for the next. Let's give it 5 minutes. 5 minutes.
Yeah.
I'm going to start a timer here, and I'll let you guys know when to mute your thing. If you're watching, if you're whatever, skip ahead 5 minutes starting now. So first of all, the wall.
The wall is gone.
The wall came down.
The wall came down.
Yes.
And it came down in a blaze of glory.
It was glorious and
scary.
I only care about the fact of, what's his name? I'm going to ruin it. The wildling, the guy with the red beard.
The red beard. I don't remember his name.
I wonder if he's alive.
I don't know. That's what I was concerned about. I'm like, I really don't care about anybody else. I just hope that he's alive because I want him and Brienne to get together.
Everyone, yeah, that's what I saw on Facebook. Like someone doing a post about it. Like I was just wanting to have their giant babies or whatever.
Yes.
Yeah, Brienne and I can't remember his name. Dom.
Don't quiz me on it. We're gonna waste time.
I had his name. But
anyways,
on Facebook.
so the Night King is riding the dragon.
He's doing a Khaleesi.
Yep.
That's what he's doing.
So that's pretty awesome. But yeah, so that scene right there, that was.
Well, here's the
amazing.
thing. I got it spoiled for me.
You did.
Fuckers. People's work chat.
Yeah.
Right next to me, and they're like something about the wall coming down. I was like, I'm just gonna ignore that. Hopefully it doesn't ruin my experience.
Yeah.
It didn't really. I just knew it was gonna happen.
Okay.
I knew it was gonna happen. I just didn't know it was gonna be the closer of the series or season.
Fine.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah, the wall came down. It was.
I want to talk about the next big thing so that way we're not wasting time. Baelish.
Yeah, the head turn.
That was
the head turn and Arya.
So much needed. So I wasn't sure that if they were going to kill him. I wasn't sure if they were going to imprison him or they were going to kill him off. And I'm like, oh my God. And then the fact that he was getting on his knees and starting to cry, and I'm like, oh my God.
He's begging for his life.
He's going to die. And then the fact that he was like, Sansa.
Yep. It was. How much did you just get all giddy?
I seriously thought he had tricked Sansa into wanting to imprison or something Arya, not kill her, but
right.
You know that wasn't going to happen. I'm like, there's no way they're killing off Arya.
No.
And the fact that just his reaction, when they're just like, how do you plead something? And then they turn
Lord
to him,
Baelish.
Lord Baelish, and everybody turns to him, and we do the exact same thing he does. It was like the fuck?
Yeah, exactly.
Oh my God, it was perfect. Needed for the last 7 seasons. The snake is gone.
Yes,
the snake is gone.
the little weasel who just crawls
gone.
about the Capitol.
I'm so glad that they pulled everything from season 1 until now into that scene, and it was amazing.
Yep. So I was definitely hold on. I was definitely really excited about all that. It was a very, very enjoyable twist that I was not expecting.
Josh and I were like on our seats going,
no freaking way.
No, we're like, it's about time.
It was a very enjoyable moment that I wasn't expecting.
I can't actually wait. We didn't even think about this when Jon comes back.
Yeah. I mean, Sansa is now a badass. I'll say that.
Oh, yeah, she's badass now.
Finally moved out of her being. I know, I'm watching it. Finally moving out of her being that little girl herself that she used to be in season 1 and 2, and so on and so forth.
Next biggest thing we need to talk about is the meeting between everybody on set together.
That was good. That was an intense moment.
It was very intense, and the fact that Khaleesi flew in on her dragon and was like, "You're a little," and then Cersei's like, "You're late." She's like, My apologies.
Yes.
That was hilarious.
Very
Loved
nice.
It.
The mountain is going to face the Hound. It's going to happen.
It's got to happen.
But what's the prophecy? I don't know.
I don't remember. We'd have to go back to maybe season 1 or 2 to figure that out.
The prophecy that the mountain's going to face somebody and we don't know.
Or no, he said that's not how you end or that's not how you die. So
that's you know what's coming for you and all that stuff. He knows something's going to happen.
Okay, so last big thing that we need to talk about, other than that being awesome, was the fact that Jon is a Targaryen.
He's a Targaryen, and
he's screwing his aunt.
His aunt.
I mean, it's needed to happen. Like
they've been giving me the fuck me eyes.
Yes, it's needed to happen, but at the same time, I'm like, it's wrong. It's so wrong. But now it has been proven. Yes, Jon is the true heir to the Iron Throne, and he needs to be king.
His name was Aegon.
Aegon.
Yes.
So he is now screwing his
aunt.
His aunt.
Hopefully, when they show up, they're like, "Oh, there's only one person that knows. That's Tyrion." So
knows
Tyrion.
Knows that they're
Tyrion could become an antagonist.
I understand that, and I actually was thinking about that too, and I'm like, maybe, and at the same time, maybe that's been Tyrion's plan all along, is to get them together to tear them apart.
I don't know. Tyrion's not really a snake.
I'm saying it now. It's on the podcast. He's getting them together to tear them apart to get someone else
cause
on the
a war?
Cause a war or something. I don't know. He's a sneaky guy.
So Jon is heir to the throne, and we're hitting 5 minutes here. It was a great season.
Great.
I want to say it was one of the better ones. I think I like 6 more. What do you think?
I like this one better.
So that is our Game of Thrones chat. That was 5 minutes.
It's hard to stick that into 5 minutes.
It really was. I wanted to go longer, but I think
amazing show.
I think that we're gonna have to wait a couple years now for the next season. So
sucks, but it'll be worth it.
Hopefully it doesn't lose its steam.
I don't think it will.
That's the thing.
You're talking madness.
When you wait that long, it's kind of like when Breaking Bad was split. You had to wait another year for the other half of the season.
And you know what? It didn't lose anything.
To us.
You know what I want to do, though? Because we did see one of our friends sit on the Iron Throne.
Oh,
I'd really like to go to a Comic-Con or something that has the Iron Throne and get on the Iron Throne. Like, I've never been like that much into a show where I'm like, I want a picture of me on the Iron Throne.
Yeah. So that's our chat, Brett. Did you have anything else you want to add for playing and watching? I think that was it for that. We gotta
get to Houston.
We gotta touch on the Hurricane Henry. Alex has some facts that she's written down.
First of all, it's terrible. It's just
very terrible. Yeah,
about it is terrible.
So
luckily, it was announced as a state of emergency right
Trump
away.
Signed it immediately. Yeah. Trump knew he didn't wait, and that's a good thing. That's a really good thing. Good move on his part. That opens up a lot of help.
You were saying that before the podcast, though. It was not. They did not evacuate, or what was that thing?
They didn't call for evacuation.
They did not evacuate,
which was a good idea and a bad idea.
Because all the rain hit so quickly that, at least if I heard this right, if 6 million people, which is how many people are in Houston, tried to evacuate,
that's just Houston,
it wouldn't have been able to get out before the highways were underwater.
Yes.
Yeah. Think about, Josh and I, that was only 100,000 people or so. No, that was probably more like 500,000 people. But trying to but get home, going south from Wyoming, 3 hour drive turned into, for some people, 10 hours because it was stop and go. Yeah. So it would have been that, but worse.
Yep.
Yeah.
So
but at the same time, is that a good or a bad thing? Because now some people's houses are. I don't know how many deaths or.
I think I've heard there's only been 3 deaths. I think.
Okay, well, that's still still bad, but
it's not good. But it's not hundreds.
Are we going to compare this to Katrina already? Is that a thing?
I don't know the stats on Katrina.
Katrina was basically just as bad as Hurricane Andrew. What?
Katrina was overnight,
and it hit Louisiana. Well, Louisiana's a bowl, so it's just, or not Louisiana. New Orleans is a bowl, and it's just. When water goes in, it's going to stay. Yeah. This might wash away a little bit easier because it's a little bit higher elevation.
I'd seen something right before we started about some water has already started to kind of...
They're estimating a year's recovery.
Wow, for Houston?
Yeah.
That's not bad. It's bad, but it's not...
Well, think about the people's houses and cars and everything that they've lost. A year is a lifetime for some people
who have lost everything.
Yeah.
Right.
Can you imagine the insurance rates on people's houses down along the coast of New Orleans, Houston, all of that?
Any East Coast property has to have a lot of insurance because of hurricanes.
Exactly.
Yeah. But what is encouraging is that all the somebody showed a video of just a convoy line.
Are you talking about the boats?
With boats?
Yeah, I saw it too.
Just going down to help because rescue workers have been working 37 hours straight without a meal.
Yeah.
To rescue people.
Yeah,
so,
and people have donated for it too. You've been seeing.
All I had to do was Google Hurricane Henry, and it wasn't the news that popped. Or sorry, Harvey. The only thing that came
why did I call
up.
It Henry? Whoops.
The first thing that came up. The first 3 things was donate.
Sure.
So that's all you got to do if you want to donate. Just type it into Google, and it's right there.
Yeah, and then that convoy really made me feel good. I was like, nice, people are doing their own thing to help other people.
What I saw, one of our friends, Tony, actually, he marked himself as safe, but what he did is I saw that on a Facebook post. He lives in Houston, or does he live in Austin?
I think he lives in Houston.
But he actually took a picture of stuff that he's donating. He even lives down there, and he's already donating things down there.
Tony's donating. What was he donating? Like food?
It looked like everything, diapers. There was just tubs of stuff.
Right on. That's good.
And anything that he could do to help. So that's really good.
Yeah.
But I had some stats on here that were kind of big. So it's now the hurricane is obviously over now, but now it's considered a tropical storm.
Just dumping rain.
Yeah, dumping rain. So the last time
where's it at now?
This was considered a Category 4 hurricane.
Where's Harvey at now? Where's it located on the U.S.?
That's a good question.
I'll look it up.
Yeah, you can look it up. The last time Houston had a Category 4 hurricane was 1961, and there's only been 2 on record. That one and the one in 1961.
You would think it would hit like that area would be hit a little bit more because it's in the Gulf.
I think most of them from what I read, it looks like most of them stay away from the land. Like they just get a bunch of rain instead of it actually hitting the border. The other thing is that there was a record of 51 inches of rain.
Yep.
I mean, that's a lot of rain.
Heck yeah, it is.
That's a lot of rain.
You said 51?
51 inches. And Houston Airport's average yearly rainfall is 49. Yearly rainfall is 49.
Like 2 days.
Yeah. And the max record, or the max recorded winds was 130 miles an hour.
Can you that how terrifying that would be?
130 miles an hour.
Potentially it's going to hit New Orleans and Baton Rouge. Yeah. It's
I see it.
It's right there off the coast of Texas, and it's going right into Louisiana.
Looks like it's kind of curving around to the east side.
It'll lose steam.
I figured it would go north.
Oh my gosh! I mean,
like a lot of hurricanes do.
What gets me too? I mean, it's one thing. I mean, for having all these people. I mean, there's pictures. I mean, the pictures and video and footage of everything is just devastating to look at. But the other thing too is to see there's people carrying their giant dogs.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like the water's up to like their chest, and they're carrying these dogs on their shoulders, trying to take them away from the house.
So the path, it looks like it's going to actually, what's left of it is going to hit Indiana by Saturday.
Oh, you mean like the rain?
Yeah, it's going to go north. So,
oh, okay. Well, I think that's what happened when Katrina happened too.
We're driving this weekend.
Well,
we are.
And gas has already gone up.
Oh, gas has gone
20
up.
cents.
I saw that. Yeah, it's
because one of
$2.55.
the refineries in Texas had to shut down.
Okay.
So that's not surprising there.
No.
I've seen videos of guys on horseback rescuing horses.
Yeah, I've seen there's cattle videos too of people like dogs and stuff herding getting cattle into things.
A video of a dog on top of a car that was abandoned and a guy in a boat pulling up to get him off of the car.
I saw a video of a wild hawk that wouldn't leave this guy's car because
it got in the seat.
Yeah, and the winds were so strong it couldn't fly.
And I think this video is actually viral right now.
Yeah,
it's a hawk scared to death, and some flew into his window and got into his seat and sat there for cover.
Did you know he took him home?
No.
And animal rescue came and got him later.
Well,
so he kind of domesticated it, so he'll probably live on a wildlife preserve.
They will probably tag him or something and put him back out in the wild where he does.
But I'm just saying, he just sat there. He sat there in his home, in a corner.
Well, yeah, he's probably
on this video, and he's just hanging out, chilling. He didn't hurt him
because us humans know what's going on, but I mean, for all these animals, I mean. The worst part for me about just because I like animals so much, the worst part for me is looking on these videos and footage and stuff and news and seeing that people tied their animals to their houses and to their fences and left them.
Yep.
It breaks my heart.
Sure.
I'm like, you could at least, I mean, I know that they're animals and they're secondary to humans, but it's that's a big piece of my heart. But to hear about that, it devastates me. But the other thing I was going to say is I saw people with newborn babies, and they would take a
tote.
A tote.
Yeah.
Put a tote in there with the crib, like a crib or a
car seat.
And because it would float. Mm-hmm. And so they didn't have to carry it, and they would just tie a rope to it and pull their baby along. I'm like,
as long as it's not raining, because the water would get in and sink it.
Well, obviously, but I mean, just people getting evacuated, and that's what they're using in their houses. Their houses are up to here underwater, and they've got their newborns in a packing tote.
There was an image I saw of a guy who was already prepared for this. He already had a barrier around his house, so he was fine. He got to stay there.
I actually read on one of our local news station's website that there's a girl from the area who lives in Houston now, and she's actually 40 minutes from downtown. Mm-hmm. And her apartment she's on the second floor, but her apartment building has not flooded. So she's very fortunate. The water has gotten close, but it hasn't entered her area, her building. So she's very fortunate. So.
That's good.
I did believe too that I saw. I'll probably have to repost this if it's true, but if you were stranded in your house, there is apparently a sign that if you put out a colorful blanket or a towel or something over It's like at a window or something to show that there are still people inside and people will come and get you. I think that's like one of the ways of signaling, hey, there's somebody still here.
When I was down in New Orleans for Katrina to do some cleanup with a church group, the one thing that you saw on every single house was a certain spray paint code. Like there were certain ones that actually said there was, I don't remember what they were offhand, but there were some where like there was one person here and they would say, and there was another sign that would say whether or not they were dead or all that stuff.
Like meaning there was bodies in the houses,
or this was checked, there was no one there, and they would also do ones where there was an animal there, or there were this many people that lived there and we rescued them. You know, there were different codes that they did. So having that kind of knowledge of what to read, you know, with that blanket thing, if that's something that's going on now, that's great. I mean, I think that was done by the National Guard or something like that, or whoever goes and whoever does search and rescue. I mean,
it would be awesome if, you know, if everybody could just like pause their jobs, you know, and go down there and help. I mean, that's just not.
I did see there is a line of people waiting to just volunteer. Just, you know.
Yeah, that was the one thing. Like when Katrina happened, I believe, was that like 06, right?
I believe 05 or 06.
Yeah, when that happened, I mean, I was still a teenager, but it was like, I remember we were at least like, we did like a food drive and like with school and stuff, and got a bunch of food to send down there to the people that were in homeless. Homeless, and then they were in the dome. Right?
Yeah. Superdome.
Yeah. So, I mean, that was stuff that you could do, but there was also people that were volunteering to go down there. There was also like, there's like, again, like there's animals too. That's why it's always important to microchip your animals. But there was also people going down there and rescuing and bringing animals up, figuring out who they belong to. No,
not necessarily. There was a documentary we watched where people were trying to keep those animals.
Yes, there was that
they
too.
They quote unquote thought that the people that left the animals behind were leaving them behind because they didn't want them. It was because they couldn't take them.
Yes, they were actually told that they couldn't take, like, you could not take your animals. And I'm like, I could not, I don't know if I could leave.
Right.
Knowing that my animals are going to sit there and drown, I honestly, I don't know what I would do.
Not necessarily that, but not be able to fend for themselves for food and water.
They don't know what's going, like
proper water. Anyway.
I don't like talking about that. That's horrible. That's like for me, it's like leaving a person in the house. But
we need to wrap it up.
Yeah.
Well, in conclusion, you know, our thoughts and prayers are with everybody.
Yes.
All the people and all the workers. And,
I mean, let's just hope that everything.
God bless all those, that line of people with boats. Just
yes.
Everybody headed down there.
That was great to see.
That's great.
Are you doing anything for Labor Day?
Don't know yet.
Yeah, we're going to be traveling to Missouri to see my family. Hadn't seen them in almost
I have
a
not
year.
seen your family in a year.
Over a year.
Be
over
sick
a year.
of traveling.
I already am.
Yeah.
Like I was like, man,
I already am, but I'm super excited because I haven't seen everybody in a year, and this is the longest since we've been together that I've not seen anybody, and all of us are going to be there.
Yeah.
Right.
I don't think my brother's going to be there though.
Oh.
Yeah, because he's in Denver right now. Like he arrived the same day that we left.
That's true. But either way, it's going to be a fun time.
All right, guys, it is time to plug it in. First of all, our T-shirt Tuesday giveaway winner, Quentin, congratulations. You can message us on email or you can talk to me personally. You'll get your T-shirt for the T-shirt Tuesday giveaway. Don't let that discourage the rest of our listeners. You can head on over to our Twitter page on September 5th? 6th? 5th? Was it the 6th?
Monday's the 5th, right?
No, it's September 5th. It's Tuesday.
Okay.
Yep, I was right. On the 5th, we will have our announcement of T-shirt Tuesday giveaway. It'll be on our social media. Just keep an eye out for that, and it'll start a new round for T-shirt Tuesday. Don't let that discourage you. I know there's a lot of people who have entered in before that just haven't gotten the chance to win, but it'll keep going. I'll let you know that. Now, remember, guys, if you are listening to us, there are other ways you can find us on, other apps you can find us on as well. We are on SoundCloud, iTunes, Stitcher, Podcast Addict, Blueberry, TuneIn, Satchel, the Xbox One podcast app, and Google Play Music. We thank you guys for liking, sharing, and subscribing for all that we do and everything that you do. We thank you so much. Especially to our SoundCloud listeners. We have had the most listens. It blew up last week. It blowed up. And we thank you guys for that. Big shout out to our listeners. We thank you. If you ever want to catch us on YouTube, we are there every Monday is when our videos are going to be coming out. That's when our most recent podcast will be in video form. You can catch us. You can see our ugly mugs or just mine. Everyone else, I'm sure, is fine. We are on Exploded Radio on Tuesday nights at 6 p.m. Central, 7 Eastern. They play our most recent podcast on there. I've been sending them in to them, and I haven't checked it out in a little while. I probably should. But I know they still play their. They have like comedy stuff on there now, and a lot of interesting music. If you want to follow us on any of our social media apps, we are on Facebook, which is facebook.com/PTOUnlimited. Instagram is PTOUnlimited_podcast. We are also on Twitter, which is @PTOUnlimited. If you ever want to catch us live on any of our social media apps, we are there every Wednesday night at 7:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. That's where you'll see our precast meetings, which basically we talk about what we're going to talk about before we talk about it. We can get suggestions from our listeners and watchers and all that stuff. And a lot of times we come up with some interesting topics that just we use either at the time or for future episodes. If you ever want to email us about anything you want us to talk about, if you miss our precast meetings or you want to chime in on something that we've mentioned, our email address is PTOUnlimited@gmail.com. If you ever want to follow me on Twitter, I'm @Lemke619.
Brett_Wings.
Cute_kitty.
It feels like those plugs get longer every day.
Yes. Lots to plug.
We are on a lot of stuff. So
just Google us.
Yeah, Google us. That's a good thing too.
Go to iTunes, leave us a review.
Yes, thank you for doing that, and thank you for joining us, guys. We'll catch you next week.
Bye.
Bye.